3, 2, 1, hit it.
Hello.
This is Michael.
And I'm Grace. And together we are California
Travel
Videos.
I think we're getting better at this, Grace. Nice job.
All righty. Hi, how's everybody doing? So nice to see you. Welcome from coming over from Jack. We appreciate that. Thank you for the raid.
CaptainJack Scrapper the first.
Yes, and we look forward to raiding Gina. The link for her raid at 6 p.m. is at the very top, so we will see you over there at 6 p.m.
Gina has a very hot show tonight.
Woohoo!
Don't miss, not to be missed.
Gina always has a hot show.
She does. And Carl H is here. Hey, Carl's in the house. Good to have you here. And Sue, Lucky Dog Production moderator.
We thank you for that. And Carl is here, and Dan the Man.
Hey, Dan the Man. That's such a good name, isn't it? We got some great people here. And to start off, thank you for being part of the community and for letting us be part of your communities there. So, there's a bit of echo. Is that me or you, honey?
I think it's coming from you, honey.
Okay, well, you know, what I've got is something where people can dial in even if they can't go in regular. So I'm going to see if I can do a little adjustment. Grace is going to cover for me.
Dan says it's his fault. He has too many videos up. That will do it. And I am very warm here in Petaluma. We've been running temperatures close to 100 degrees, and our house was built at a time that it never really got hotter than about 85 in the summer. So yeah, it's been pretty hot here. So we don't have air conditioning. So Michael's usually my air conditioning because hot air.
Right. I'm full of air. Maybe hot air though is the only problem with that. But let the record book show I am full of air.
Look who's here, honey. We got Sue Christensen in the house.
No kidding. Hey Sue, how's life up there in the cool country where you're at? Good to have you here up by the, I don't know if it's Illinois or Illinois. But
we love our Sues. Sues are always so supportive. I love people with the name Sue.
And look who here we have. The graduate is with us, Kenneth Oakes, aka Kenny, aka the Fordman.
Always good.
And now the college graduate there. Now that he's licensed with his mechanics. What would you call it? Expertise and skills. So good to have you all here. And I've got something today that's a little special because the interview subject is YOU. I'm not trying to be Uncle Sam, but this is kind of your show. It's always your show, but this time it's going to be for them, honey. Are you with me?
I'm trying to figure out where to point. You?
Oh, yeah, I'm going this way.
You?
You. No, you guys out there, not just you, Grace. Them.
Okay, so we welcome you to join us. We have the link here at the top. I am going to be in and out this evening while I can and while time will permit. So if anybody wants to come on in and keep Michael happy,
time out.
Yeah.
In and out. Are you going to go have some hamburgers? Are you going to bring some hamburgers back, or what's in and out stuff all about?
I might just do that, yeah.
Water girl. I hope water boy is around you too. We always good to have you here with us. And so here's what we're going to try doing tonight. First off, if you want to come in to join the show, that would be great. In fact, I've got some things I've done on when we used to do the Tuesday shows, which is what's new in RV. I've got some things for us to talk about. So if you come on, I don't know what I'll talk about. We want to talk about RVs. We want to talk about apparatus that you buy, things that you like or have questions about. That's all cool. Whatever your questions are about travel, all that stuff that is travel RV related or other related topics is fine. But wait, there's more. If you don't have the ability to come in with a video or that sort of nonsense, that's okay. I do have I think at the top. Do I have Grace where I have pinned on YouTube? Yeah, I think so. You'll see up at the top of the YouTube, the first line says StreamYard. The second one says join us on this week's live stream, and it's got the link. So if you want to come in, just click that link up there at the top of the chat, and that's fine. But if that doesn't work for you, I have plan B. And if you have just a plain old telephone, a cell phone, whatever, you can go to this. I'm going to hit this button here, which should take me to the Wacom tablet. Yes, it is. And I should be able to minimize Mr. Michael. Shoot. Oops, maybe I should be over here. Yeah, there we go. So I guess hopefully I'm seeing it backwards on my monitor screen, but hopefully it's there. So if you can't use the pin that's up at the top and you don't want to come in with the video, you just want to come in with the audio, we have ways of making this work. So the call-in number, if you see at the bottom, is
563
999
2185. Operators will be standing by.
Grace is a high-duty operator. That is true.
I'm a smooth operator, honey.
A smooth operator. And then
also,
some.
We definitely want to thank our mods here with us. We have Sue and we have Kenny. Thank you, both of you. Gina is with us. She's listening tonight. She's overlapping, getting ready for her show. If anybody else, I know there's been a couple of moderators who have sent us emails. If you're here tonight and you want me to add you, just go ahead and type a post. And I will go ahead and give you the moderation because, as I said, I will be in and out this evening.
Excellent. Well said, my love. So some of the things we're going to be talking about tonight, in addition to those topics, if you want, I mean, if that fills up the evening, that is fine. But, we have Father's Day coming up. We have Amazon Prime Days for those of you who do that or go to Walmart. They're going to compete with them. Let's see. How do you stay in cool these days? We've been having a hot spell here. Oh, look at Dan, the Vintage RV'er is ready to come in. Dan, give me a thumbs up if you're ready to come on up aboard. If you want to come up, bzz, 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 he says, I'm ready to come on up. Come on, Dan. Dan, how you doing there, big bro? Good to have you here.
Yeah, glad to be here. From the East Coast, sort of.
The right coast, I like to say. We're the left coast.
I don't want to say the right coast, but I'm from the Finger Lakes region of Western New York State.
Oh, you shouldn't have said that. Look at Grace is immediately going to pop in.
What lake?
Bye, guys. I'll see you.
Lake.
I'm sorry. What, Michael? Bye. No.
Yep. Seneca Lake, but I work in Penn Yan, so we have Seneca and Keuka Lake.
I know them both well. So do you know the town of Moravia?
Yep.
And Skaneateles?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we can talk about that all night. I'll come back in a little while and check.
No, I'll let you guys talk. I'll go away for the night.
Well, I don't know.
Skaneateles is a little bit, for the, the hoity-toity there.
Honey, I can barely see you. You're so tiny. Can you come up just a little bit larger than life?
Okay. I just kind of thought since you were kind of...
He's over by his whiteboard and he's trying not to block the numbers.
That's right. There we go. Okay, I'll put it back. But anyway, Grace, when she used to talk to me when we were, the dating years, the formative years, is that I would be like Skaneateles or whatever she's saying. I have no idea. And then a year and a half ago, we went to, you took your glasses off. Me too.
Yeah,
I can do this.
They reflect the screen and it's never...
I know what you mean. I find though, if you go like this, you put them up at a big angle and people said, how come you got your glasses up in the top?
I can do that. I do that because, with the bifocals era, when you do that, you can sometimes gain some extra, magnification when you're driving.
You are a powerful dude, Dan. But anyway, it is great area where you're at up there, and I just love that part of the country when Grace took us there. Amazing.
Reference to California for the grape growing region, the wine region.
Exactly.
Probably the Finger Lakes region of New York State is probably the second largest wine producing region in the country, and a lot of people don't know that. And
right, it's comparative to Napa here in California.
Yeah,
yeah, we
and if you keep burning stuff down, we're going to be #1 soon. I'm just saying.
That's probably true, but you have to work on the red grapes.
Yes.
We
Yes,
need
we
a
do.
little more red wine coming from, the Finger Lake region.
Well, it's a regional and soil challenge there with the red grapes.
Exactly.
To do
Hello,
that, so.
Mellow Nomadic Adventures. And I also see Tim with Time for Exploring. I have up here, we have a
Yeah,
open-
Marshall, good to have. He's been doing some
Yeah.
awesome things, man. He's a hard guy to keep up with, but if you get a chance, go by, check out his channel. If you like it, subscribe. Even better, his now that he has his 1K and he's able to monetize. I mean, he's doing it in a very sensible way. And I'm hoping that Tim is going to be there too. Time for Exploring is we have Tim, and then we have Tim. I like to call him Tim, but
we call
any
him
of these
Tim.
people, any of these wirely types there, Dan?
Yeah, we call them that as well. We call them other things, but we don't do that on
That's
air.
true. So tell us about your RV life to start with. I'd love to hear kind of what's going on in your neck of the woods.
It started off in 2015, which was, not too long ago. And I wound up receiving a 1977 Class C RV from a client in trade for some, services that I provided. And so, we got this older RV that was basically built and sold 3 months before Star Wars came out, which to me is not a big deal. What's Star Wars?
But by the way, do you remember when Star Wars did come out?
Oh yes, I was in the back of a station wagon at the drive-in watching it.
Isn't that interesting? Because I do remember the line. It was one of those that went kind of at least halfway around the block, and my daughter and I were just kind of waiting. But the thing was, I thought that was so interesting about that. We talk about our community, and it could be like online, or it could be when we go to a park and we have like-minded people. And there, when we were in those lines, if you'll remember, is that or went in before it started, all these people's kind of electric, where they're just really. Yeah. It's not only the anticipation of it, which is like when we travel, that's a big part of it. But
yes, it
also,
is.
I think it is when you have people that are in your niche, your tribe, whatever it is. Isn't that cool? When you remember those things and relate it to when we get away now?
Yeah, the one thing I do remember, especially specifically to watching that movie, is that the drive-in was not really the, let's just say, the highest class drive-in, and the sound went out in the cantina scene when they had all the subtitles.
Yes.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought, as a kid at that time, I thought, isn't this awesome? The sound went out, but they put subtitles in so I could hear what Greedo was saying to Han Solo. I'm going to, blah blah blah, Jabba the Hutt. And I thought and for 20 plus years, I thought that was what was going on there.
Wow.
That's why the subtitle. So when I saw the subtitles on a VHS tape, I'm like, what? Wait a minute. They didn't put those in because the sound went out. And I, realized, it's a little bit of youthful innocence went away from that. But
isn't that interesting?
I still think Han shot first, and I would have done the same darn thing. I'm telling you, I would have.
Oh, Dan,
the guy was going to kill me, and you know what? We're going to just take care of it.
We're going to go with the flow, but
right.
We're always passionate, which is a good thing, and sometimes that means that you're kind of vulnerable, and but it's all growth experience. But at least I think it's so important that when we do these things, when you're out in an RV park, when we're on the road or things like that, is that we feel like we're part of something that is beyond ourselves, a community, and so. Especially when people, they need help and they're not afraid to say that, hey, things aren't good. And it was yesterday, I guess. No, I'm sorry. It was 2 days ago. I look at my RV and it's like, that tandem, I have a Class C also, that tandem looks like it's a little low. In fact, I think it's flat because, we got the other one that holds it, as you know. It's like, well, it just doesn't look right. So I went to measure the pressure and I'm like, I'm not getting a good seal. I don't think there's anything there. And eventually I realized it's completely flat.
Oh, really?
So, so I thought, number one, thank God it happened when I'm at home. Number two, thank goodness I can just take it down to a tire repair shop. I'm one of these guys that, I worked for the telephone company, so everything's supposed to be very reliable and backup plan. So I've got like a Makita, 1/2-inch drive, that takes the 5-amp batteries. I've never used it. I hope I never have to use it, but I thought I would prefer not, like a 7-ton jack and all this stuff. But so I thought, I'm just going to put some air in it, and I'm going to take it down to the shop today. And when I put air in it, nothing was happening. I thought, is it me? It turned out that right at the valve stem where it goes into the tire, it was ripped. It was kind of torn. And so I don't know. It's kind of, I hope it doesn't happen to these on the other side, but I was glad it happened at home. And the point being is that I guess I have the feeling that, I'll try to take care of business myself, but sometimes it's okay to just say, hello out there. Can I get a helping hand?
Right. And on that note, I don't know, have you been camping out this year? Have you been going out?
A couple times, it's like we've had our shots, so we our tetanus shots or whatever we had they gave us, we had those. But I
got my distemper along with it. I got a deal. So I got my
I'm thinking that somewhere we're going to get a booster shots for the J&J, the Johnson shots. But for right now, I've had the two that they say are the requisite. And the first one I had just a little symptom during the night, not bad. I got up out of bed, to tinkle. And I was a little dizzy, and then I was like, I was okay. And then the second shot, I was busy working, digging a lot of, Grace's grandkids, they were saying, why don't we put in a trampoline area? Well, it was about like, I don't know how many yards of dirt I had to move and the bricks. But I guess when I took the second shot, it says, what the hell are you doing with me,
you're
Michael?
Be a little sore and a little achy. And any physical exuberance is going to be quite the effort. Yeah. But that's good because at least that tells you your body is reacting.
That's right. It was doing some good. I hope anyway.
Yeah, exactly. But like we went on the camping, we went on a couple camping trips, and I was trying to gauge how, like before this whole thing happened, people were very social, and were happy to interact with you, and there was no hesitancy for any sort of social interaction. I noticed at least the last 2 trips we made, people were, they kept amongst themselves. They were friendly, don't get me wrong, but there was this bit of hesitancy when it came to, people, you walking up to people and things of that nature. And maybe that's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's something I miss to some degree, where you can chit chat with your campsite neighbors and not feel like you've got to stand off a little bit.
That is so true. But now that the 15th is, at least in California, where they said, okay, all conditions clear, it's like, I'll go into a place and like, are other people wearing masks? Should I be wearing? No, most of them aren't wearing masks. I guess it's okay. It's like I went to a party of a friend. In fact, someone who's been my dentist for over 35 years. And so it was like, do people want to shake hands, or some don't want to do fist bumps? But, I guess that it's good to be respectful and see what the protocols are. And that's when even before COVID, I mean, it was like, okay, what is the protocol? You go to some states and some RV parks, and you realize that that's kind of the standard of behavior, and I'm cool with that. Have you ever heard of neuro-linguistics programming?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like to think that way as like, that's my main part of life. But it's good to at least have an awareness of how, from a standpoint of self-awareness, but situational awareness, what's the ecosystem we're in. And so I think it's good to where we can be, like you hear, and I'm sure you've seen on some of the YouTube videos, is that what is the camp etiquette, not walking through somebody else's campsite, as a for instance. Or, how late should we be running the generators at night, or, what the various things are. But a little bit more about your travel. I'd love to hear about places that you've been or would like to go.
You can steal from somebody, when they're not looking.
Oh, that.
All right. But But yeah, it was definitely, you know, I mean, the funny thing is that on top of it, you know, I have an older RV. I have about a 30 some odd year old Class A. So when we pull into the campsite, we're kind of like people, you know, like, hello, you know, we're probably the oldest rig pulling into the campground as it is. They're expecting me to come out with rubber boots, a plaid bathrobe, and a winter hat with ear flaps, and saying, "Hey, the you know what is full," kind of thing, you know, and do that sort of, you know, the Griswold family vacation thing. I do have that costume ready to go at any time in my rig, but I seldom use it. But it does, you know, I noticed, like I said, this year it's been a little different than other years, and I think people are just like you said, they're just trying to feel it out. They're trying to look for some sort of social etiquette standard that they can glom onto, and that's fine. And you know, but like I said, it's before it was people were much more open and not so cautious. But I'm hoping after this year things will return back a bit. And it's not about making a statement. It's not about, hey, here's what I think about, you know, the virus. It's more about, this is how I live my life, and here's how I would like to be with other people, and we can go from there. So yeah, it's been somewhat interesting, and we've got a big trip coming up this next week where we're gonna be traveling down to Florida and then up to Cape Cod. So
Wow,
Florida,
Cape Cod.
Very interesting. Oh, Cape Cod's going to be very interesting because I'm driving in a 30 some odd year old Class A on July 4th weekend up to the northern part, and you laugh because you know.
No, wait a second. No, I'm praying for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Or namaste, whatever I should say.
Truro, like the northern like campground of Cape Cod. So I'm going to be on this 2-lane road, and thank goodness I have a bathroom on board because I'm thinking I'm probably going to need it as we traverse our way up through. And we're going to park at the campground, and we're not going to move. I am not going to. That weekend, once we get there, we're good. You know, we just got to watch out for the sharks, apparently, that are all over the place in Cape Cod. It's like Jaws all over again.
I was hearing something on NPR, I think it was the other day, where like 90% of the sharks are no longer with us. You know, so since the sharks are so, you know, I don't want to give them a lot of food, mind you, but yeah, I guess we don't have as many. They don't even know why it is that sharks, their population is down, but yeah, if they keep it distance, and in fact, right out here on the West Coast is it on Tomales Bay, which is actually the center of the San Andreas Fault. They're known for kind of frequent in the area. But,
well,
you know,
apparently the people on the East Coast are very tasty. So yeah, the sharks over here on the East Coast have been taking advantage of the buffet.
You know what it is, though? It's like you got to remember when you use your suntan lotion, do not put meat tenderizer with it. You know, that is not good to use.
Don't put Red Bay. Don't put Red Bay seasoning on it.
No Red Bay. That's right.
Or mustard. We're going to put some mustard on there. There we go.
That's right.
There we go. Yikes.
Yeah, in fact, it's kind of funny. You see the RVers in some of the videos they have, and so sriracha sauce. I thought I was the only person. You know, when you get older, you know, you don't have your taste buds are only in the back of your mouth, but it's like, oh, it's not just me. Well, I felt at least a little recompense that other people have that same thing where they like these hotter spices too, and I have to be a little careful with Grace. You know, Grace, I see you out there still kind of listening, but you know, she's okay. I've told her, you know, my one requisite is that don't be chintzy with the onions. You know, as long as she's not chintzy with the onions, she doesn't have to put a lot of spicy food on. That's okay for me. And then speaking of spicy people and things, not really, but hey, Redheaded Riding Hood, good to have you here. Ron Darrell Adventures is with us, and Najru I'm not sure I got that name right. Close, but hey, howdy, good to have you with us.
I'm not going to hog all your broadband. I'm going to let you.
Oh well, that.
These other folks on here.
Well, I just want to share one thing though, Dan, and that is that when we were at Cape Cod, we loved it. We have our e-bikes, and that was one of our longer rides at the time. But that path that goes out, I thought, well, it must be 5-6 miles. What does it go, like 30 or 40 miles? I never got to the end of it.
Yeah, I looked at it on the mapping stuff for the biking, and I'm like, okay, that's quite the trip. Might get you back to Boston if you keep going.
Grace, why don't you, there she is. Tell us about what you loved most, that we had something that we hadn't experienced the whole rest of the trip, honey. Tell them about it.
Which trip?
When we were at Cape Cod, you love this certain soup.
Oh, okay. I can definitely tell you about that. But before I do, I definitely want to let you know I can reach out to you offline and we can talk more about beautiful Cayuga County and the surrounding area.
Yes.
Michael's referring to the best clam chowder in the entire universe at Cape Cod, and we have a Cape Cod video, and you'll find out the name of it in that video. I
have 2 kids that are really into clam chowder, and also any other, related oysters or anything that's going on. They're going to go clam hunting and everything on the beach, so it should be very interesting.
And deep fried prawns too.
There you go.
With tartar sauce.
My son Zach will certainly love you for mentioning that. He loves all of it.
Well, we definitely thank you for joining us, and I'm going to go ahead and drop down, but I want to make sure to let you know that I would love to chat with you some more about upstate New York at another time here.
And just 1 minute, Dan, before you go, is we want to promote your channel. Thank you so much for being generous and coming in. And what can we do to help you on your channel?
Well, that's a good question. I would say if people are looking for my channel mainly, other than travel videos, which most people do, I do a lot of fix-it videos for things on your RV. So if you're trying to do things yourself, maintenance, troubleshooting, especially for older RVs, that's a lot of what I do. So, the refrigerators, the steering, the engine, all that kind of stuff, I jump right in, and if I don't know how to do it, I try to figure it out and share the knowledge, just like Fordman over here.
Yeah, speaking of which, hey, Kenny, good to have you here. Just one more for Dan. Dan, I'm joking with you here, but my battery's out.
Whoa.
I was going to give the no, but no. I mean, the fact is, that's cheating when you do that, because everybody likes DIY, and you're going to get tons of views.
You should have a "That's not easy" button.
Oh, okay. Well, I have a.
Yeah, it's not easy. It's never easy.
Oh, here it's that's not easy. Yeah, but check out his channel. Dan's got a great thing going, and we all love how to do or fix it type of videos. So I'm going to check some out. Now you've got a Class A these days, right?
I've got an older Class A. It's a Chevy P30 chassis, which is like, you see the FedEx and UPS delivery trucks. It's that sort of thing, but there's a lot of things that are going on with it that I hope people understand, because I would hate people to get ripped off when they go into to get repair work. Mm-hmm. Oh, when the old Family Vacation line, right? When Clark Griswold says, well, how much is this going to cost? And the repair guy says, well, how much you got?
That's about it, isn't it?
Yeah, and that still kind of goes on, and I see it.
So how did you get to be such a handyman?
Because I'm a poor SOB, and I just can't afford to pay anybody to do it. So I say, okay, I've got a toolkit. I'm going to figure it out. I've got somewhat of an engineering background. Yeah, there you go.
Call Kenny.
And Kenny
Call
did the same
Dan.
thing, right? He's got a mechanical mind, so that helps a great deal on how to figure stuff out. Especially when you try to undo a bolt and you turn it like 3 times and it snaps off, and you turn it back once and you're good.
I thought there was an undo button. No, there's no
Yeah,
undo
there
for when it
should be.
snaps.
There should be on some of the old stuff, but that's not always the way it goes. Anyways,
well, thanks for coming, Dan. It's
having
been
me here
great to have
tonight. I
you.
appreciate it.
Okay,
And
you too. We'll see you again soon.
email, so I'll be in touch.
Wonderful.
Yes, that's right.
I'll send you some stickers. Woo, and
Ooh, we love stickers. We'll give you some of our stickers too.
Yay.
Okay. Take care.
Take care, everyone.
And we got some others here who've come in. Maddie, thank you for being with us. I mentioned Redhead. And hey, look at this. There is the RV DJ, Sonia. We had a great interview with her. She is such an excellent person. And, she's out there doing it with the RVers and also doing the great live streams there. So she's got multiple hats she wears. And Paula, congratulations on all the things that have been going your way. I love your recent videos. You've been, the tattoo was really something quite special. There's a lady who wears many, many hats and does an excellent job at each one of them. And I just thank you so much for your leadership. And so who else do we have out here? Carl, thanks for being here with us. And I guess that Kenny, my buddy, how you doing there, bro?
Doing all right, but still.
And this is the first time that I've actually been on a live with you, Kenny. I've got to watch you on quite a few, and I know you've been in a lot of ours, but this is the first time that we have met face to face.
Yes, and I always enjoy watching your all's videos and watching everybody's videos. I'm always around somewhere on the YouTube streets.
and right back at you there, Kenny. You are our hero, and it's just so. First off, you have this wonderful disposition, temperament, and kindness, and so you are what we aspire to be. So. And you just put a lot of time in this, seriously, you do. So you give a lot back to the community, and so as well as supporting our channels. So, thank you for all you do, Kenny.
You're very welcome.
So what's going on in your neck of the woods?
Well, I'm hoping to hear pretty soon be able to find a job in the auto mechanic field. Mm-hmm. I have an idea of where the lady that is job placement, she's going to help me find a job in the auto mechanic field.
Wonderful. And just on that note is that when I was the Rotary Club president a couple of years ago here in Petaluma, California, and when I would speak to one of the 5 avenues of service is for the youth. And so when I would talk to them, you want to try to inspire them and give them ideas. And I used to say is that, keep on working and do the best you can at school. The education is great. But the thing that helped me most was my golf swing. Because, the network of the people I got to meet. And so I would say for you also is that, the fact where you get out and you press the flesh or whatever you want to say, but to get to meet people, and it's the old know, like, and trust. And so that certainly allowed me to meet a lot of people out on the golf course that worked in other parts of my corporation, AT&T. And so whenever there was an opportunity, I've worked in engineering department. I've worked in legal, regulatory, antitrust matters. I've worked in operations, satellite earth stations, and, packet storing forward before it was the internet, and doing intercompany negotiations. I've been in so many departments. I met so many of them on the golf course. So however you meet people and then they get to like you and know that you have skills, that's a wonderful way to start out, I think, Kenny.
Yeah. I've always learned kindness, showing respect to people, things like that. And how shows people makes them want to hire you. You know what I mean?
Most definitely. I agree with you. I think that is true. And we have Red down here with us. I am going to bring her on and say hello, and then I'm going to take a break.
I didn't see that, Red. So happy to have you here. Here she comes up, and we have a foursome.
Hello.
Hey, Red.
Virtual hug.
Hey, Red.
Hi.
I'll be back.
Okay, Red, you look like you're in a big RV, or you're at somebody's house, I think.
Hey, Red. I did a.
You know what? You know what I am? No, I'm. I'm in the back of my RV.
Oh, you
I can't
are.
get
I had no
my
idea.
internet in the front. Yeah.
I thought I knew all elements of your RV, but I don't recognize that position. So we're looking towards the back. Uh-oh.
Yeah, I'm on my bed.
Okay, it looks like we have a little slow speed
here.
there is what was going on.
I was going to take a shower.
Now I recognize it. So how's your weather where you're at there today?
Mm-hmm. Oh,
So,
it rained.
Red, how's your weather?
It rained a little bit, but it keeps stopping. It rained.
We got a fourth coming up. Here is, oh my gosh, is Captain Jack, is he wearing any wardrobe? Captain Jack. Wow, I guess we've got somebody slow on their internet connectivity. And I don't know who it is. I was watching Captain Jack. He seemed like he was okay. Yeah. Let's see if Captain Jack, are you frozen or can you move? This is slow.
I had to turn off the YouTube stream from you, and so now I think it's going to work. I hope it's going to work.
I hear you and I see you in the flesh now. How's life?
I shouldn't be.
Now, how close are the two of you together? I guess you're in the Midwest. Are you today? Isn't that right, Captain Jack?
Yes, I'm still at home base, which is Sparta, Michigan.
Right. Up there getting ready for the Michigan meetup.
Okay.
And Red, where are you at today?
Yep, that will be, it seems like it's September.
I'm in Denver.
Oh, in
Colorado.
Denver. Oh, yes. You wanted to see some of your family there, didn't you?
My son's here.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Wonderful.
I just have a broadcast
Not here at the RV park, but here.
And a reminder, here where we are, we're facing possible rolling blackouts. So if we lose you, it's probably a rolling blackout that they're doing in precaution of having any more fires out here. So that's.
Well, I don't know if you could hear me, but
Kenny, was that
laggy for me? So I'm going to sign off here and go back into the YouTube.
Captain Jack, thank you for coming. We look forward to come on next week then when we got a little bit better internet connection. And I always love to see you in the flesh. You know, it's just a personal thing.
Michael. We have a lot joining us. I saw Dee and Gina's back, and I saw Ron and the Greisen family and the RV DJ. So thanks to all of you coming in. I'm going to go ahead and give the floor back to these guys. Just want to let you know, should we go dark, that is the reason why.
Yes. So I'd like to ask Redheaded. Tell me, Red, about.
Thanks, Grace.
Gosh, you're seeing. You kind of remind me of who we've had visiting us for a couple times now, in and out. So I'm sure we'll see him again soon. But Kevin, the No Mock Experience. But you're kind of like a hard target to hit too. You're on the move a lot as well, aren't you?
Well, I've been like staying in a state for a month, so, and I'm getting kind of itchy feet because I've been here 2 weeks, over 2 weeks, and I'm only going to be here 10 more days. And things are breaking. I need to meet up with you again, Michael.
In fact, I was just going to ask you that next.
Well,
but,
I'm going to see.
Go ahead.
I'm going to see Cargo Dan and Dee next month. So,
Good.
I might have stuff for Dan to fix.
What types of things are going on with your RV?
Well, I had a hailstorm the other day.
Oh my God.
I think it was Sunday, yeah, and it busted the vent over the toilet. It's kind of good that it's both. One's over the toilet where it was damaged, and then a skylight over the shower right here. That's right here. So a man in this RV park from Texas got up on my roof and patched it up temporarily.
That's so.
And his name was Mike.
Yes, but it does make me think about some things they're chinks in our armor, but they are solvable, or at least you can kind of mend it, until you get it just right. And other things are where, if you proceed onward, it may be at some peril. It might be some things that, that gets from bad to worse. And that's part of the wisdom we all have is this, we never sure. And I'm so happy that Dee is with us here. I mean, Dee is, you're such an inspiration to all of us. And the fact is that you have sometimes where things are where, you reach out and, it's like, I was so happy to send you some of my Reflectex. I'm sorry, not Reflectex. I gave that to Kevin, but Illuminate, that's what it was. I had like about a 20 by 12 feet wide. And, if her air conditioner isn't working that well, and I'm hoping she's, she's getting things going, taking care of business. But, sometimes just having, just a regular blanket for shade is okay. But, sometimes if you can have air that circulates through it, it's useful. So sometimes you can.
Ask her. She's
What's
here
that?
with us making a special appearance, and I'm more than happy to introduce and bring on our one and only Dee.
Oh, speak of which. Speak of the angel. Hi, Dee.
Oh, all my favorite people in one place. This is awesome.
So did you get a chance to try any of that Illuminate yet, Dee?
I got it. I haven't put it up yet, but
Okay.
I got it yesterday. I had to go to town yesterday, so I picked it up.
That's in Parker is where you go?
Yeah, it's for almost 40 miles and 40 miles back, 80 miles round trip. I made a trip to Parker yesterday in 119-degree heat with no air conditioning in my truck when I run. I have air conditioning, but not in the truck. So I can't, when I drive, there's no air conditioning. Believe me.
Wow.
I had to get food. I had to go to the mail center. I had to get gas. I had to stop for my cigarettes. I had to do so many things. And I survived. What I do is I run every fan I have. I have 4 fans. I ran 3 of them because the battery was dead on the other one. But I ran 3 fans and leave the windows open. I can't go in for more than 10 or 15 minutes with the dog in the truck. So I got it all done. Believe in me, I did. As soon as I got home, I got the air conditioner on. It's wonderful.
You are our hero. I mean, I can remember when I was in Redding, California, which is in the Central Valley of the United States, not as hot as Toasty as where you're at, but we used to talk about 455. That was all 4 windows down and go 55 miles an hour.
Yeah, well, I grew up in a car with 7 people, no air conditioning in those days. In our cars, at least.
Have you ever taken an ice chest and like you put some ice and some water in it and you have like a washcloth or a rag and you just let it sit there for a while, and you take it out and put it over your neck or something like that. Have you ever tried any
I
of
take
those?
a wet rag. That's all I
A wet
take.
rag,
A
exactly.
wet rag. I don't
Yeah.
never use an ice chest because the problem is I don't have room for an ice chest. I don't have ice. I have a little tiny freezer and I have a good sized refrigerator, but I'm not going to put a washcloth that I go back and forth and rinse my sweat off in my refrigerator. I said, I'm not going to do that.
But I'm so happy that you've got a pet, you know, a beloved fur baby, as we call them.
Maxie's wonderful. He really is. He's the joy of my life.
How about you, Kenny? Have you ever had any pets?
I have a German Shepherd.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
He does.
Yeah, she's over there laying
Yep.
down right now. She's too cameras to be on camera, so you give her so long enough to be on camera.
That's
Can I
funny,
share a
Kenny,
story with
because
you about
Max-
German Shepherds?
Max doesn't like the camera either. He
No.
goes away every time I try to put it on him.
Sure, go ahead, Michael.
Oh, you know, so when Kevin was here, the Nomad, the Nomad experience is that, you know, he has Barrett, which is a wonderful German Shepherd. And then, you know, I was thinking that his other dog, which is part Shepherd and part, we won't say just so nobody will judge him harshly, but I love Bella, Isabella.
Wolf.
And, you know, so that,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, but Timber is a timber dog. We'll just say we use that wolf word. But anyway, they're a great couple of dogs, and you know, it's treats. You know, they always work, and we became the best of buddies. And, you know, a dog. One of the things they'll do when they are encouraging you to share, they'll come up and lick your face. You know, it's I don't know if you're aware of this, but over the history of dogs, is they encourage their mother to feed them, which they feed from like a bird would do, from mouth to mouth. And so, you know, and so I've got this timber dog that is like licking my face and says, okay, I'll give you some more. But when it came to where I had some of the special food that we give our dog Kaliki, it's got Grace makes a wonderful job with hamburger and all these other things. And I put it there, and Barrett started eating. He put his paws literally around it. And it was like, okay, I'm not going to come between you and the food. With my Siberian Husky, Grace is your Siberian Husky. You know, he'll be very good. But, you know, some dogs, if they want their food just to be left alone, I get it. So, but I'm sure your dog there, Kenny, is one that's just pretty mellow, isn't it?
Well, she likes to eat. If you let her, she'd eat 24/7.
Kind of like you, Kenny. You like to eat.
Yeah.
Well said. Yeah, that's so funny.
Michael, I have a story about that Barrett, because I was in the Alabama Hills with Kevin and Ray that one day back in March, and Barrett's the drone killer and goes ballistic when Kevin launches the drone, and Ray lit the fire in the morning, and Kevin was just sitting there in the chair, and Barrett was on the cord, and Kevin launches the drone, and Barrett goes crazy, and the cord is going into the fire. So I'm holding him back. It was crazy.
Yeah,
It
they're
was
very
crazy.
passionate dogs. But
It was fun, though.
Barrett is one that really does think, you know,
But Bella's
this is not our
chill.
friend. I'm going to fix it.
Yeah, he's protecting. He thinks he's protecting you from the drone. But Bella doesn't bother Bella.
I guess it's not here, but yeah. So Kevin says, you know, he's trying to get ready to go to Oregon and Washington and to have his affairs in order so that, you know, he doesn't have things he doesn't need. And he said, you know, here I've got some stuff from my Mavic that I guess he wasn't. Oh, there we go. Thank you, Grace. Wasn't as lucky as Mike was from, you know, Mike and Teresa from Meant to Be RVing when we were up there at Elise Falls. Is that, you know, his drone. Well, it needed a bath, I guess you might say. But this is the second time it's come up fine. So,
But the rice.
Go ahead.
He got it going.
You got it going.
You
Yeah,
got it
got going
going
fine.
again after.
And when we were going up to
Yeah.
Crater Lake, there's a spot called the Natural Bridge, which is the water, the fall. It comes, I've never seen it where it's actually frothing all white. And I flew my drone over it, and I thought, 5 feet away. But when I got the video back, I was only about 1 foot away or less. The water's kind of jumping up, and I thought, man, I am lucky I didn't lose mine also. So, that's the price of poker. I guess sometimes you take risks and you don't even realize how close you are to an obstacle.
Yeah.
And thank you, Mo Bang, Tim, for the super chat. I can't wait to give you some too. I owe you there, Tim. So he is so awesome. We had a great time with him, and he was also with one of his friends. He was trying to, do double duty between the RVers and somebody he met locally, and he is so generous. And Tim, we thank you so much and for all you do for us. So, Dee, I was going to ask you, are you going to go up to the mountains, or are you there? I know you talked about going up, not at Flagstaff, but up there where it's a little higher altitude. Are you going to try it later on or not?
I don't know. I am waiting for a friend to show up to help work on the pocket door on my truck and help me fix steps up to it. So I'm not sure. If we can't work here in the heat, I told him that if we can go, I'm willing. I can go anywhere with my truck and trailer. I have the generator, so.
Right.
So I can run the air conditioner up there, run all of the power tools, what have you. But I'm kind of waiting for him to show up probably Wednesday and then decide what we're going to do.
Good. Well, that's a good plan, I guess.
But
Sometimes
I don't really
you have to be flexible.
Yeah. Well, now that I have air conditioning, I don't have to go 300 miles each way to get to cool climate. Because this air conditioner is amazing. I'm so comfortable. In fact, I get cold. I have to put my sweatshirt on in the evening when it starts, the heat eases up a little bit.
So you had the one that, I think you spent about $300 for it, and it just wasn't producing. You still was in the 90s. So tell us, for those who didn't see it, what the resolution was, how you got it fixed.
Well, I didn't. I had to get another one.
That's what I mean. Sometimes you just say you did the best you could with it, but it just, sometimes the voltage isn't high enough, or these weird things. But in this case, it was a unit that wasn't meant to last very long, I guess.
That and the venting was not good, so I didn't have good airflow, and that's what we had to really work on. That's why Cargo Dan, worked so hard at setting this truck up with a slider for the air conditioner where it can stick out the back of the truck so I get plenty of ventilation, air. Otherwise, back in that little one foot deep garage area, there's no room for airflow. Anyhow, so he worked. I did a video about it, but he did a lot of work on my truck to get this done. I just have to do some finishing touches, then I'll show the final. But,
but for those who don't know, go ahead.
I'm sorry. So what I started out with is 5,000 BTU. It quit working. Then I had to go buy one. I bought an 8,000 BTU. It wouldn't work. So finally, I ended up with a 12,000 BTU air conditioner in this little tiny truck. Guess what? It works. Nobody knows, but I have the worst luck every time I buy something that runs on power. I've replaced 3 generators. I've replaced a half a dozen ice chests or refrigerators. I mean, everything turns to crap every time. So I have really, really bad. Talk to Johnny Journey. She's seen firsthand my bad luck many times. Yeah. So I don't mean bad luck. It's not that. It's just things. I spend money and go and order things, and then they just don't work. Then I have to go through days and weeks of trying to go through the return situation. When you're traveling, it's not easy to return stuff.
No, that is true, especially when you have these other obstacles there. But, it's like I was mentioning is that, yours, you have a cutout there and it sticks through. So Dan did a really good job of, supporting it on the backside. Right. So a lot of this is, I don't know if you call it field expediencies, but you only have a certain amount of tools. You don't like always have the chance to go back and forth to the hardware store.
Right.
And so that's so great when you have somebody that can kind of, I guess you call it improvisation or whatever it is.
Yeah,
And
improv.
So, yeah, but you finally found, I guess, the right amount of BTU that was needed,
Right.
and it probably would have been fine with 6,000 or 8,000.
Right.
If you live by the ocean, but where you live, you need more than 6,000 or 8,000 where you live.
Apparently. I mean, like I said, it probably would have worked, but something that first air conditioner I bought to replace the 5,000, I think it was also faulty, not just because it's not getting enough air. So I returned it. It was easy, and thank goodness I had somebody to take me and do it and all that stuff. So I was able to return it to get a full refund. I paid a little bit more for the bigger one. It's worth it.
Mm-hmm. But do you order those, or do you go to locally and pick them up?
Well, is there no such thing as local? But I was up in Havasu where Dan is, and they have a lot of big box stores, Lowe's, Home Depot, big stores, But I don't have any around here. But I happened to be there, so he took me to Lowe's and got that.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, I've been to both of those places you're talking about. There's certainly no quartzite, and how far you have to go to Blythe, or wherever to go to anything.
And there's
of
nothing
size.
in Blythe either. Not
much.
No,
in fact, this is one thing I've got to say, if you don't mind me segueing for just a second. And Red, you know about this, and Kenny, you probably heard about it too. Is that it's so easy when whatever the ecosystem you're in, you think, well, everybody has it like me. If things are bad or things are good, you think, well, the rest of the country, the rest of the world is that way. And it's not the case. Yeah. And so when we were going down to Blythe, and you see that, when the Great Recession, whatever you want to call it, after that had happened, those people have been wiped out and never really came back. And it's like, it's so sad to see where, the houses that are boarded up and people have moved away, and even a lot of the stores have gone out of business. And you get the Dollar Trees, but a lot of the ones that, like you say, we'd like there, maybe they've gone out of Dodge, and it's really it's humbling when you see that some of the things where people have had. And so, but like Havasu, oh boy, I tell you, as long as there wasn't summer, Grace would be so happy to move there. She sees some of these places with these tall garages that, you could drive your RV in and things. And
there's houses up on the hills overlooking the lake. It's beautiful there. But you're right, it's summer, so it's just as hot there as it is here.
It is.
And so, but I love the heat. Actually, people don't realize I love the hot temperature.
It is. It's if you got arthritis or whatever, it's good for that.
I just physically can't handle it the way I did.
So, Red, when you were at Alabama Hills, what was the temperature and altitude there? I think she's frozen.
Are you frozen, Red?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't
it was
know
pretty comfortable, altitude. Though, from what I could see when
frozen?
You were there.
I don't know. Am I frozen?
Oh, now you're not.
I don't know.
March, yeah.
I was there in March.
I'd love to get down there sometime. It looks like a great place.
I was there in March, so yeah.
Did you do much hiking?
Chilly. Yeah. No, I didn't do any hiking. I was only there for one day.
Well, it's nice you came in from out of town. You were near the ocean.
I was there for one day. It was.
I'm going to close my camera for a minute. I'll be right back.
Okay. See you in a bit there, Dee. Thanks for coming. But yeah, I know that you've been, gosh, you've
when I went to the Alabama Hills, I had been actually. I was, I had flown from Los Angeles where I drove my RV from Illinois to Los Angeles at the end of 2020. And then I had gone back, I had flown back actually to see my friend in Illinois. Illinois is where my home base is. And then I came back to California and actually went to Palm Desert. And then I saw that Ray and Kevin were in the Alabama Hills, and I emailed Kevin and he sent me their location. So I went there for a day. I didn't know how much longer they were going to be there. But
And they
it was
probably
fun.
don't ever know that much either. They're kind of moving targets as well, aren't they?
Yeah, yeah, they don't know.
So how about your meetups there? Tell us a little bit for those who don't know about what meetups you're looking forward to. I know you got some plans.
Yeah, Mayberry. That was the first one I signed up for, to meet Kenneth at Mayberry, and but I hadn't emailed. I just recently emailed Susan of New Horizons, and so I'm on the official article that Marshall has about the Mayberry meetup.
Good.
So, because I wasn't on it, and I was like, oh, I know why I'm not on that, because I didn't email Susan. So
You'll have such a great time. I think they had. Oh, there she's got something. Yes, it is water in there. At least that's what you're saying is in there. So that's close enough, Dee.
Yeah, that's all I drink. Pepsi. I'm starting. Last night I woke up with really bad muscle spasms and foot and leg cramps. So I think I'm not drinking enough water. I don't want to get dehydrated. I did that.
Do you take salt pills also?
No, I don't need to. I eat so much salt, iodized salt. Salt is not helpful. Iodized salt, because we need iodine. Iodine is helpful, but I eat a ton of salt.
Yeah, I've tried not to. I remember when I was a boy, my parents were from Minnesota. You know, the food there, they would cook the vegetables so much, and my mom would say, like, well, Mickey, that was, she called me when I was little, Mickey, put salt and pepper on your food, salt and pepper. And it's like, I didn't like my food to touch. I don't think I was anal retentive. Maybe Grace would have other opinions, but I didn't want my food to touch, and I didn't want salt or pepper on my food.
I can picture you as a kid, Michael. I can see your mother fighting you on that.
Well, she was a teacher. My father
sounds
was
like my oldest son.
So, oh yeah, is guilty as charged.
We have a question, Michael.
Okay, has anyone altered their national park visits with all the excess visitors showing up this year? Boy, that is a good question. Anybody want to tackle that?
Well, I don't know.
I don't know if I can get to Rocky Mountain National Park.
Yeah, that's a
I'm
tough
planning to go to Grand Canyon.
Wonderful. In fact, I think
Again.
that Ray and Kevin were talking about going that way. And, last week on our interviews, we had Loving Life Hitched Up. And I was hoping that I could get Mandy Lee, who is, I think she's got 40-some thousand subs now. She's got a great channel, and they do a lot where they do photo and video tours. And they were at the bottom of the Grand Canyon, her and her beau. And so Kendrick and her, then as soon as they got back up to the top, they had to go, I think, 750 miles. There is a meetup. We think we know about M21 and Mayberry and the Escapers groups going out. But they were going called U Camp. Have you heard about U Camp? I hadn't heard either. And
I've heard of the escapees, but I haven't.
Yeah, but no, this one is like, these people that have these teardrops, these small trailers. Well, they can be like 18 feet long or so, depending if you have a 400 or an 800 of the teardrop. But I guess they had a meetup where many hundreds of RVers in those models were going to get together. So any rate, so one of them, the couples there, they were down at Grand Canyon, and this would be a good time of year. A lot of people aren't aware of the difference in altitude from the bottom and the top, but what is it, about 4,000 to 5,000 feet? Well, I take that back. I was there, and it was like the south rim's about 7,000 feet, and the north rim's about almost 8,000 feet. Yeah. So even this time of year, it's pretty nice, isn't it?
It's hot in the Grand Canyon this time of year.
Yeah.
Last month it wasn't so bad. This month, next month, and August are probably the worst. Then it cools down real fast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But that is a wonderful national park.
I went 3 times last year.
Oh, you did?
I did. did.
And you still haven't had your
I
full.
want to go
Oh.
down there.
I'll never
Oh, yeah.
never in my life will I ever get tired of the Grand
No. We spent our time at the South Rim. We were going to go to the north, although the weather was
I
in
want to go
October.
again.
You'll love it. Yeah, you never get tired of it. You know, and I flew over it one time, and it was so surprising. You know, it took about 5 minutes. You know, the plane is going, 600 miles an hour, and from above, you just realize just how big it is. It's amazing what God did when they decided to create that area. Well, by the way, we got something new. I had just kind of broke the ice to Grace today. Is that when you buy things on Amazon and you have the store card, I always pay it off each month, but you get 5% credit on the things you buy. And we finally got enough to where we had enough to get something of value, and so I got one of these kayaks, a 2-seater kayak, and it should be here next Friday. And so when we go out and about, we'd like to sometimes be able to, in addition to going out with our e-bikes, is that to see some of the waterways. So have you guys ever been out in the water?
Put it?
That is the question. No, because we've got one. It's inflatable. Hey, Renee, good to have you here. What a sweetie. We sure had a good time with her. And so, yeah, this is one that it collapses up to about 2.5 feet by 2 feet by about 2 feet high. And so, in our RV, that means something's got to go. But we have one spot where we have like the Instapot and a bunch of, bottled waters, and I'm going to have to sacrifice something else somewhere so we can slide it in the side. But you are so right. Because up on our roof, we've got 4 solar panels, and then I've got a extendable ladder up there. So, I like to say, well, can I get something else on the roof? And Grace says, no, we're not going to be
then
like
you have the e-bikes.
That's right. That's on the back. So I like that. We're like the Beverly Hillbillies. I'll just keep throwing more stuff up on top.
Yeah.
Oh, how true. But anyway, as far as
every time I buy something, I have to get rid of something.
listen, Grace is one of my 453 tripods. Yeah, less tripods, more of something else. But so anyway, getting back to our decision about national parks. Well, we're going to be right next to Bryce Canyon for the Escapers group. They didn't have one last year. The year before, it was right down there in Dee's country, which was at Lake Havasu. Now, normally they're meeting right at Quartzsite, but that last time they met, it was they were going to meet up there, and it was right after the balloon races, which is wonderful. They do a great job with that, and so when we get up, we're not necessarily going to go to Bryce. We've been there before.
We're not going to Bryce at all, Michael.
What's that?
We're not going to Bryce at all. But when you've seen one national park, you've seen them all. Bryce, the Grand
Tetons, come on.
The Grand Tetons. We will be going up toward the Grand Tetons.
True.
I
meant the Tetons, not Bryce. I meant the Grand Tetons. Why did I get those mixed up? I don't know. But anyway, the point being is that the Tetons, I have to be a little careful because you know what Teton stands for, don't you?
Tetons?
Yes.
They're peaks.
Give a little bit more.
The tips of the
tips of the peak.
Yeah.
The great tips.
the Frenchman that discovered it was like they could envision a woman laying on her back, and that's all I'll say what Tetons are in French. But at any rate, it's like we've been there. We love that area up there, but we've not been up in the northern part of Idaho. And so we're looking forward to going to up there by Coeur d'Alene, and there's the Hiawatha Trail. And so we've heard so many good things about it. We thought we'd go Oregon, Washington, and then cut across that way. So to answer your question, we probably see a little bit of the Tetons, I'm guessing.
So, Dee, you had said that you will be heading toward the Grand Canyon. Do you have a date on that, or is it open?
No, I don't make it any real plans because everything changes for me all the time. So I hate to make the only for sure plan I have is I'm gonna have the meetup in January, That's the only
Yes.
thing that's absolutely not changeable.
Yay! Well, we
I am
definitely hope to be at that
so
one.
excited to
Yeah.
be there, and
Yeah.
I love that your inspiration,
be at
as well
that
as
one.
trying to make
Yeah.
it to where it's not a lot of fuss. No one's going to be,
Right.
or it's not going to be a big thing on the potluck. I really admire you for making that decision. We can still have a good time,
Right.
with just small stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, keep it simple.
Well, and food is always an issue at those things. So, and I just think it would be easier to have more of a social get together,
Mhm.
and not so much food and all the work and all the mess and all that stuff. I want to keep it simple for everybody that comes can feel comfortable,
Yeah.
not feel they're burdened with extra chores they have to get involved in, setting it up and doing a bunch of work, hauling the trash away, figuring out what I want to keep it really simple.
And I
Yeah,
thought Bob Wells, the other year when he had it, and it was like it was the fairgrounds thing. And sometimes it's less is more. I think is where people, they just want a chance to hang out, more or less.
Right. So we're gonna do the circle of the campfires. We're gonna have
Sounds like
probably.
a wonderful time. We look forward to being there when it's a lot cooler in the month of January.
Oh, it's wonderful.
For
yeah.
sure, yeah.
It's nice.
And then, Red, you were saying that you would like to get to the Colorado. Have you tried to go online to see if there are any types of reservations available?
I think we lost her again.
I think it
I
takes a
think
couple
she's on a
seconds. Then
delay.
she'll come. Give her a second to come about. Now her internet's a little slow.
And what about you, Kenneth? Are you going to be traveling at all in the near future?
Well, I'm going to be going to Mayberry in October of 2020 or 2021 of this year. I said October 2022. Now, next year, I'll be going on a cruise ship in October 2022 of next year.
Okay.
I'll be going on my very first group cruise. And in fact, Red's going
Yeah, those
in
are
October
great
of 2022, a group cruise. It's going to be featuring the Down Under Cruisers, the Spikers Crazy Adventures, us and more.
And we're going to the beach after Mayberry.
And we'll be going to the beach after Mayberry. So I've never been.
Michael, I need to step down. I thank you for having me
This
up
year.
here. I thought I would come and say hello.
Thank you, Dee. I'm still looking forward to that interview in the future, but thanks so much for just dropping by. That's so
I'm
cool.
pretty much available now, so get in touch with me. We can set that up.
Well, we're going to do something that's going to be
Carolina
very fun,
Beach.
that's different, that nobody has done before.
Okay,
And
that's
we
great.
hope to see you over at Gina's here
Yep.
at 6 o'clock our time. I think 7 o'clock your time.
Okay,
And stay
so
cool.
Michael,
Give your
you
dog
have
a hug for
my
us.
number. You have my phone number. It's easier
I
to
do.
communicate with me by phone than back and forth. I have a lot of trouble seeing, so typing and all that.
Yes.
So
Okay.
call me when you're ready to.
Love and hugs.
we'll
Take care.
talk soon.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So yeah, for Kenny, I guess Kenny, you've got some big deal coming there, don't you? You're going to be like going off to Aloha over to Hawaii. That's something to look forward to, isn't it?
It's actually going to be my very first group cruise in 28 years. I've never been on a cruise in my entire life, so it's going to be my very first one.
You may not be so skinny, but I know you like that hot sauces. So you bring some hot sauces with it, and that'll help compensate for all that delicious food.
Kenny, just start thinking about whatever it is you want to eat in this buffet that will have anything your heart desires. And the dessert bar,
Well, I'm definitely wanting to try some octopus and escargot.
Ooh, you're brave.
You are brave. Hmm.
Yeah, you'll be able to. I haven't even done that. I don't know. Do they have escargot, honey?
Yes, they do.
He's going to do a bunch of taste tests, I'm sure. And then if he can't get them downloaded on the ship, he can download them afterwards. That's going to be fun.
That's true, but they'll have a buffet bar, Kenny, is where you're going to see it, be like appetizer types of things. But I'm sure, if you want something like, I can remember I was on, before I got on the 6-star ships, the kind of high end, and I was not saying I paid for them as a guest lecturer. I was able to get free cruises, but when I was paying myself there, and I would be on like Royal Caribbean, and you'd say, well, I really like salmon, and would you like 2 of them tonight, sir? Oh, can I do that? But on some of these cruise ships, you just can have, if you want some more food, you just have it delivered to your room. There's no extra charge.
Yeah, there's definitely
nice.
Well, say, guys, I have a question. I'm here on some of the things I had prepared tonight, but we've been doing so well without them. But on camping, I saw where Idaho is doubling, like ×2, the price for their out-of-state campers. They're raising it some for locals, but for out-of-state campers and visitors on their busiest parks, they're going to go from $24 a night to $48 a night. And it's kind of a supply and demand thing. They're saying we've had so many people that have been trying to book reservations. We'll just go ahead and use this kind of market-based pricing. And I don't know, I guess you haven't seen it yet, Kenny, but I'm wondering, Red, have you seen anything where they've been, as Tim says, price gouging, not a happy thing. Have you seen any of that yet, Red?
Yeah, this place where I'm staying, I would not have picked to stay here, but I didn't plan ahead. And, a little bit ahead. When I was in Wyoming, I was looking at the state park where I stayed before, which is really nice and right near my son, Cherry Creek State Park. But
yeah, that's true. I think you dropped out for a second. I'm going to go ahead and respond to that.
Full up,
go
especially ahead. On the weekends, and I knew I was going to be here a while, so I'm like, I'm just going to stay somewhere else. And I was at a Walmart parking lot, and I decided to stay here, even though it was not much taken. I'm in price as lots of RV parks I've stayed at. It's not even a discount, and I'm here for 4 weeks, and it was a night.
Yeah, that definitely gets really expensive. We're so fortunate to be set up now where we can boondock and have our own source of energy.
Yeah, something like that. Anyways.
Yeah, I think we'll be doing more of that in Idaho if they keep doing the price gouging.
The nicest part. I love neighbors here.
Yeah, it will. But these are the parks that they've mentioned, and I'll go ahead and just say the name if anyone's headed there. Bear Lake, Farragut, Hell's Gate, Priest Lake, and Round Lake are the ones where they're getting so much demand. So those are the ones initially. But from what I've read, more than that, I mean, it even popped up in Forbes magazine when I was looking at this. It says the loosening of the COVID restrictions globally in recent months has led to a rapid recovery in global demand for the crude oil prices that has exceeded the expectations of the experts. So, as you probably know, the gas prices and fuel prices have gone up 25%. And a couple of years ago, well, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, it was that high. But for the demand that's coming up there now it's not good. Now on NPR, Patrick Dehan, who is the head of their petroleum analyst at Gas Buddy, had said that it's the economics is really what's the heart of it to blame. And so Americans are getting out there on the go, and with this economy reopening, it's responding to vigorous demand. So, and then of course, let's not forget about the Colonial Pipeline. That kind of made the prices pop up quickly. So on RV'er Travel this week, in fact, I think it's today, the episode, they talked about dynamic pricing. And Tim, as you had mentioned, I saw your note there, that was funny, is that, so that they're not only making the prices go up based upon, the long-term demand, but off-season demand, it goes less, obviously. But this thing that you mentioned, Red, is I knew it was true for hotels. I didn't realize for RV parks it was as much as it is. But what they're doing is they're saying if you make a late term reservation the last week or so, it's like, oh, Red, you're going to have to start paying more for it now. You didn't book this a month ahead of time. So they are getting some of these places where they're charging more if you don't get reservations a month in advance. And that's kind of for, I think, most of us here, that kind of hurts because we don't book a month ahead of time.
You're saying that if we call and we book a reservation 2 weeks, and then 2 weeks later we get there, they can change the price?
No, I'm saying if you're like Red or like us, when
They
we
might.
like say we're going up the Pacific Northwest and we don't book till the last week or two, or maybe call a day ahead of time, which is normally how we do, they'll say, oh yeah, we'll have a spot for you, Grace, but you're not going to be paying $29 a night. It's like $49 because we just only have one opening.
Okay,
Now,
well, they're not going
most
to change
of
the
it-
price, though, if you get
No.
a book. Okay.
Yeah.
Which is great, because if they change the price, they're going to have a big fight on their hands.
No, I knock on wood. I hope they won't do that. But here's the one thing that I will, as we get in this last 10 minutes before we go raid Gina, that was, this one caught me really flat-footed. So listen up carefully for this one. Online bookings with the reservation systems, not just a person at mom and pop, but where some of these systems have what's called AI, artificial intelligence, which knows your profile when you call, because it has access to the metadata for you. It knows your disposable income. It knows your ability to pay more. It knows if you have a big rig and all those things that are in the system. And so even like, and I didn't know this, but I did read it. I have to believe it. RVers are saying that KOA Campground already tweaks their rates based upon the location you booked from. So if we book from, like, say, the San Francisco Bay Area, well, Grace, you have more disposable income. You're booking from the San Francisco Bay Area. If you're booking from Tennessee, maybe they'll say, oh, well, they maybe don't have as much disposable income, and they'll give them a better price. What do you guys think about that?
That's baloney. That is, you know what we can do, though? Okay, so we get a P.O. box in Kentucky or something, honey.
Well, not when you're online, you don't even need to do that. And what some of the people are doing, rather than to using Google, which has, it knows your email, it knows what's going on your maps, it knows what's going on your searches. Some people are saying they'll use a different search engine before they make the reservation. They'll use DuckDuckGo, which is a search engine. And they go to DuckDuckGo and they get their information. And then they may not even just call on the phone or book it on the internet. They'll go through a virtual private network and say, well, I'm not going to let people know where I'm calling from or where I'm booking it from. I mean, it's very sad that we've gotten to this point. I have understood that when it comes to airline reservations, this happened. But there's this little company, you maybe not heard of it. It's called Camping World. You know that, the company. But they recently bought another company called Nomad Reservation Systems so that they can have rebanding. They're not going to call it campgroundbooking.com. And so when you want to get reservations, well, why not go to Camping World? And Camping World and a lot of these bigger companies like KOA, they have access to a lot of our demographics. So all I'm saying is that we like to think is we just want to go out and have a good time. And some of the people are finding that the prices do vary based upon other considerations. So I'm sure we'll all be reading a lot more about this, but if you hadn't heard about it, I just want you to be aware of what's happening about, do you have using DuckDuckGo or a virtual private network, a VPN? So it's a shame we're into this kind of a world.
We'll use my Sacramento phone number.
There you go.
Hi, RVing with Ginny. How are you? I hope you've got some great trips coming up and some great weekends planned.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. But speaking about, we talked about doing this thing about boondocking, and we're so happy that we have our solar and we can easily be out for a week now. But before I talk about that, I know we only have 6 minutes or 5 minutes left. Kenny, when you go out there, are you going to stay with some friends, or when you get to Mayberry, what are your plans?
Well, my plans is
Camping.
is camping. Yeah, we're going to be taking we're going to be bringing our 1985 Ford Econoline E150.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so E150 van out there.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
I'm wanting to eventually, of course, it's going to take me a while to get it set up the way we want it set up. I'm wanting to eventually turn it into a camper van itself.
Mm-hmm.
But I know that's going to take some time and planning and things like that. So, but that's what we're going to be. We're going to be sleeping in when we go to bed.
But Kenny, are you going to be like me? I mean, like Grace knows I have all this tripods and cameras and lights and audio gear. Are you going to have all your tools now that you're a mechanic? Are you going to bring a lot of tools?
Well, probably going to have tools on hand.
Have tools will travel.
Have tools. Oh, that's a great name.
Hey, that is a good name.
I probably
here,
will have
have-
repairs I need to
You
be
never
done,
know when
Kenneth.
you break down.
Knowing
Well,
me.
and Red, I'll try to have some extra tools for you and some extra goodies again there, you know, so that more than baling wire and duct tape, you know, but yeah, it's good to have some extra things on hand. For instance, you know, some people, when they go to Alaska, they will have things such as an extra water pump. You never know when your water pump's going to go out, or an extra fan belt. And I thought, yeah, if you're going to be kind of out in the boonies, it's good to have some of these extra accoutrements.
And I just want to say that Angie Hay is here with us, and she has volunteered so graciously that if we need reservations, she is in West Virginia and she will call for us.
Oh,
we
wonderful,
also,
Angie.
and Dan will call from upstate New York. So, you know, we don't need
Yes.
those VPNs. We got
That's right.
We got people who take care of us and love us, and we love all of you, and we thank you for being here with us. We're going to be heading over to Gina's here in just about 3 or 4 minutes, and we're going to say hello there. And
I have one quickie thing, Grace, if I may, and then we'll let them go ahead and say what things. Oh, what's that, honey?
No, I'm only joking. Go ahead.
Okay, so I'll make it quick. Now, one thing that also happened this week, we talked about, you know, boondocking and things, but it was interesting that the people who spend so much time with their YouTube channel have a lot of followers, 140,000 subscribers. And, you know, they have the obelisk for people who want to be better YouTubers. It's the Odd Couple. And John and, Mercedes Condon, they now have said they're going to put all this stuff kind of on hold, and they're going to get in Alabama a campground, which right now only has 36 sites, but they're a couple 100 acres, and they're looking to go ahead and start like seeing if they can buy it and get some other RVers to fund it and the whole thing. But, you know, so some of these people, and I've seen a couple others where they're saying, you know, we're going to start having some people where you can buy into some resorts or, you know, RV campgrounds. So this whole industry is kind of blossoming out. And so it will be interesting to see. So Kenny, do you have any things to finish with? And do you want to finish up with? Or I see Captain Jack has got a couple things to say. What did you want to say, Kenny?
I just hope to eventually meet y'all in person one day, and I've enjoyed being up on your live stream. Thanks for having me up.
Oh, you betcha. We always love to have you come up anytime you want to come up. Is that we hope to do more of these kind of open forums. Once in a while we have where, you know, we have an interview with a person like Dee, who are others that we haven't had. And Mo Bang, he's been on before interviews, but Tim and Captain Jack and all the rest of you there, you guys are a pleasure. And Renee, we can't wait to have you come on our show also sometime soon. And so I just want to thank the entire community for letting us follow you, and then, you know, coming and jumping aboard also. This is your show, so we're here to do things that are good for the community. And hey, who knows? You might be in California. You might want to hang out with us when you get up to Northern California too, right?
And Red, thank you so much for being here. I'm sorry that your connection got dropped, but when you get into a better spot, we'd love to have you up and hear more about what your plans are for the channel. So we are going to go ahead and sign off. Thank you all for being here. And let's go ahead and raid Gina. The link is at the top, as well as Fordman just posted it for us as well. So have a wonderful evening.
Wonderful time. And Victoria, thank you for dropping by and been lurking. That is cool for us always. And I'm going to finish it as always. This makes people go when I sing. Happy trails to you until we meet again. Kenny, love you there. Take care, all.